Shalom, peace, and blessings. Welcome to the Fourth Angels Learning Center. Today, we're going to be continuing our discussion on the spiritual warfare. And today, we're going to be touching on the armor of Yah. And the armor of Yah has been talked about many different conversations, many different studies, many different aspects. And I think that based off of how we were talking or discussing the spiritual warfare, it will help us to understand the armor of Yah better. For instance, we've been discussing how the mind is a very important factor in understanding spiritual warfare, because in the scripture, the word for spirit is also incorporated in the understanding that it is your mind. The spirit of a man is the mind of man, and that the spirit of Yah is the mind of Yah, and that we are transformed by the renewing of our mind. But when we receive the spirit of Yah, our mind is now transformed, meaning that when we adopt his mind or his perspective or his view, ours is changed. And when our perspective and our thoughts is changed, we begin to respond or act or live differently. We begin to think and obey the way that Yah intended it for it to be the life rather than something that we do. So in regards to the armor of Yah, we're gonna look at it in the perspective of the mind. When we have to approach putting on the armor of Yah, is perspectives, is blocking and guarding certain aspects of your mind. Many people, we can I would say we could think that we are protecting our eyes, but then are we protecting our ears? We could protect our thoughts, but then are we guarding our emotions? Are we allowing our emotions to create false ideas or cause us to become impulsive? Like, these are all the aspects of the mind that the armor of Yah is dealing with. So we're going to talk about that in a second. So let's go to, I'm going to pull up Ephesians 6. This is where it's located. So I want us to really focus on the putting on of the armor of Yah is really guarding and preparing your mind to focus and to guard yourself in certain areas of your mind. The will is different than the emotion, than the rationale, the intellect. These are all different aspects of your mind. Your desires, these are all different aspects. The habits, the addictions, the affection, all of these different things starts in your mind. That's why when you receive the mind or the spirit of Yah, all of those things are transformed just from the mind alone. The flesh still remains the same, but the mind changes. So let's pull up Ephesians 6. The first thing I want to point out is what we're dealing with. And we spoke about this in the last couple parts. What we're dealing with in regards to this war, right? Ephesians 6. We're going to start from verse 10. And it says, finally, brethren, be strong in the master and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Elohim. And I want this to be very clear. Yah does not want us to sit around and wait until Yah puts it on us. He wants us to put it on. Okay? So we're going to look at these different elements and show how Yah wants us to put the armor on. He wants us to be a participant. He wants us to be active in this whole process. So put on the whole armor of Yah, that you'll be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. And I know that this word wiles is an interesting word. I think a lot of people are already familiar with this word, and I'm gonna bring in some examples as to what it points to. But the word wiles is methodia, like a method. It's talking about trickery, it says, to lie in wait. Referring to the word method is talking about like a plan, like a devised plan. So look, the Thayer's definition says cunning arts, deceit, crafty, right? So when we're talking about wiles, think about the wiles of the devil I want you guys to think about something very important. Everybody's familiar with the road runner, and the road runner is always running from a coyote. The coyote's name is Wile Coyote, and it's like a play on words. It's really, we're using the word wild, but it's split up the word wild coyote. So when you look at the nature of what the coyote is always trying to do to capture the roadrunner, he's not just coming up exposing himself. Oh, hey, I'm the coyote. Come, no. He's always trying to use a plan, a trick, a trap, a snare. He's always trying to manipulate and do these things in order to get the roadrunner to kind of fall on in his lap. You see what I'm saying? This is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with the trickery of the devil. And you guys need to understand this, because witchcraft and all these blatant demonic things is not a wile. It's not a trick. It's not a deception. It's a blatant demonic spirits. There's certain deceptions in regards to witchcraft, like dealing with the spirits. Many people think that they're dealing with dead relatives and, people from the past times, when in actuality, they're just dealing with demonic beings that's only here to deceive your mind further into whatever you're doing. But this is very important. The battle, we need to be able to stand. We put on the armor of Yah to be able to stand against the trickery, the deceit, the cunning craftiness of the devil. This is what the scriptures say. We're not standing up against, demons popping out at us or demon possession. It's talking about the tricks, okay? And anything that the enemy does to get us to lose sight on what is true, on trusting in Yah, this is one of the tricks that he does. And we can see this from the very beginning. But in the next part, we're going to be talking about the devil's tactics. We're going to be very important. So we need to put on the armor of Yah that we may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, because we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, against the rulers of this world, the darkness of this world, spiritual wickedness in high places or high positions. We have a video on the principalities and powers, and it is not demons. Go check that out. So as we go down, we're going to look at verse 13. It says it again. Wherefore, take to you the whole armor of Elohim, that you may be able to stand in the evil day, and having done everything that you could to stand, making sure that you've done everything. Look at what it says very clear. Is a very clear warning that it's not going to, Yah is not going to just allow us to give a half-hearted effort to stand against the enemy's tactics. It says that we have done everything, done all to stand. Let me highlight that real quick. Having done all to stand. Stand therefore, and then it starts out by saying, having your loins girded with truth, and having the breastplate of righteousness. So having your loins girded with truth, around with truth. Now, many people, they say, oh, this is the belt of truth. The belt of truth holds the whole armor together. But what does that mean? Hold the whole armor together. What does this mean? What does it mean that the belt holds the whole armor? Truth holds the whole armor of Yah together. So let's take a look at a few. There's one particular set of verses that I believe answers this question very clearly. This is in 1 Peter chapter 1. We're looking at verse 12 to 15. Look at what it says here. It says, unto whom it was revealed that not unto themselves, but unto us they did serve the things which are now reported unto you by them that have preached the gospel unto you with the set apart spirit sent down from heaven, which things the angels, right? The angels desire to look into. So it's something that's the angels never experienced. The angels are seeing something involved in the gospel that is something that they have never seen or experienced or understood fully. Like they've never experienced it themselves. Look at what it says in verse 13. It says, wherefore gird up the loins of your mind. Gird up the loins of your mind. So, like we said, this is all surrounding how to utilize or how to fix your mind, place your mind in the proper place. You understand? So that way your mind can be solidified to the point where even if they kill your body, you can still make the right decision. You can still stand on truth, even though something happens to you in this earthly realm. Like, meaning, when I say earthly realm, I mean like in this earthly reality, such as your job, your health, uh, you know, this earthly scenario, this earthly situation or environment that we're in. This is what I mean. Gird up the loins of your mind. What does this mean? Be sober. Hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revealing of Yahushua Messiah. So at the coming, hope, be assured. That's what that word hope means. Be sure of the end for that grace that is to be brought to you at the revealing of Messiah. Trust. Keep your mind focused, sober-minded. Keep your mind focused and remembering the things that is coming. So it's talking about dealing with this world and not losing sight of what's coming at the revelation of Yahushua Messiah, at the revealing of him. It says, do this as obedient children. And then it says something very interesting, not fashioning yourselves according to the former desires in your ignorance. Do not fashion yourself. And I want to show you why girding your loins or girding your mind has to do with holding your whole being together. Look at what the word fashioning means. Fashioning yourself. Let's take a look. The Thayer says to conform, meaning your whole being is being molded to conform yourself. Talking about your, look at this, is one's mind and character, to conform oneself to another's pattern, right? Let's look at what the Strong's say. To fashion alike, to conform to the same pattern. So what is he saying? Do not conforming yourselves to the same pattern of your former, it says your lust in your ignorance. Lust is another word for desire. Let me show you that too, because a lot of times we associate the word lust with like sexual sins or sexual desires. But let me show you what the word lust means. The word lust simply means longing. It could mean longing for what is forbidden. So it could be any evil desire, any desire that goes after something that is not of Yah. The Thayer says desire, craving, longing, desire for what is forbidden. Again, so it could be a sexual thing, but it could be many different evil things. The word lust is also used for coveting. So when you covet, that word lust is also used as well. When you lust after something, it means that you're coveting. You're desiring something that don't belong to you. This is an evil desire. So anything evil in regards to your desiring or craving or longing for is referred to as a lust. So look at what it says, not fashioning yourselves according to your former desires, your former evil desires in your ignorance. But as he have called you is holy, you be holy, you be set apart in all manner of, and it says conversation, and that word conversation means conduct. Because it is written, be holy for I am holy. Be set apart for I am set apart. What is it telling you to do? The girding of your truth. It holds everything together. It holds every aspect of the armor, deals with a different aspect of your mind. That's why it says to gird up your mind with the belt of truth, meaning hold everything together with truth. Allow truth to be the thing that is woven into everything that you are. Your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your intellect, your reasoning, your decision making, Every aspect of your life has to be held together by what is true. That's why it says, do not fashion yourself, meaning don't conform, don't mold your mind after your former evil desires. That's why the first thing it says was be sober. Don't get drunk. Don't get confused based off of your former desire, but go after what is set apart. Set apart yourself from that old way that you used to be. The truth is supposed to be hold all of those righteous things together. If you have a righteous attitude, praise Yah. If you have a mind that is focused on the righteousness of Yah, and not only the righteousness of Yah, focus on the goodness of Yah and the blessings that he's given to you and the mercy that he's shown to you, and you worship and all these things. And then you allow truth to kind of slip out the side. You allow understanding and wisdom to kind of be put on the back burner. What happens to everything else that the truth is supposed to hold together? It starts to unravel. It starts to become loosened. When it's loosened, it can be easily taken off. And this is, remember, this is talking about the wiles of the devil. The next part that we're going to talk about deals with the trickery, dealing with the tactic of the devil. And we're going to talk about that in another video. But I want us to understand to gird the loins of your mind. So now we're understanding where are these different aspects of the armor. These different aspects of the armor goes on different aspects of your mind. Hold everything together with truth. Make sure that the word of Yah is something that you use to go against every aspect of everything that's ever told to you, ever taught to you, everything that you read, everything that you think has to be filtered through the word of Yah. Let me show you a couple verses on that. First John chapter 4. It says here, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of Elohim, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. What does trying spirits have to do with false prophets? Well, false prophets are delivering lies and falsehoods from their mind, from their thoughts, false ideas. That's why they are false prophets, because they are speaking false ideas from their mind. And it's telling you, don't believe everybody, don't believe every spirit, don't believe everything, that every idea, every thought, everything that comes from someone's mind when they're speaking. When somebody says, praise Yah, the Ruach told me, yeah, don't believe every spirit. When somebody says, well, you do that, but Yah told me to do it. Yeah, you can do whatever you want to do. It doesn't mean I have to believe you because you say Yah told you this or Yah told you that. That has nothing to do with me. That's your actions. But at the same time, it says, don't believe every spirit, but test the spirit. Try the spirit to see if it's from Yah. You have to do that. This is how you maintain your safety. How do you test the spirit? How did Messiah test the spirit? It is written. You use the word. The safeguard is the word of Yah, the truth. Just to confirm what the truth is. Messiah made it clear. John 17:17. He made it very clear. Sanctify them by thy truth. Thy word is truth. Sanctify them by thy truth. Thy word is truth. And there's much more references of the truth. Let me see if I could find a couple good cross references here. It says Psalms 119 verse 9, wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? How shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed unto your word. Psalms 119 verse 11, your word have I hid in my heart that I might not sin against you. Psalms 119 verse 104, through your precepts I get understanding. Therefore I hate every false way. This is talking about Yah's word. This is talking about Yah's truth. To gird your loins with the truth is to center your mind with what Yah says. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yah. This is very, very, very important. Very important. There's a few more verses that I want to basically establish pertaining to the truth. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. So take a look at this. Psalms 119, 140, 142. Your righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and your law is the truth. Gird your loins, gird your mind, right? With the truth. It says the law of truth. Malachi 2:6, the law of truth was in your mouth, and iniquity was not found in his lips. He walked with me in peace and equity and did turn many away from iniquity. You see that? The law of truth. You see that? Very important for us to understand. So when it says gird your mind with the truth, it's talking about establishing Yah's word, establishing his law, establishing every word that proceeds out of his mouth. Make sure that you live by it. You live by it. Every aspect of your being is held together by what Yah says and nothing else. Nothing else. If you allow that to be, nothing else will unravel it. You won't lose the helmet of salvation. You won't lose the breastplate of righteousness. You won't lose the shield of faith. You won't lose these things because everything is going to be held together and filtered through Yah's word, his law, his truth. Okay? So I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to allow each element of this armor to be a separate encouragement video pertaining to the spiritual warfare series that we have going on. Okay. So this is something very important that I wanted to make sure that we are focused on. There's a few more verses. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. This one is in Isaiah. Let me share my screen real quick. All right. Isaiah chapter 26. Look at what it says. It says, you will keep him in perfect peace. And then it says, whose mind is stayed on you. So perfect peace. Now remember, the fruit of the Ruach, fruit of the Spirit is peace. Perfect peace. That Yah will keep a person in perfect peace if their mind is stayed on him. And then it says, because he trusts in you. Trust in Yahuwah forever, for in Yah Yahuwah is everlasting strength. Trusting in him is everlasting strength. My mind is on him. My mind is fixed, and this definitely has to do with the helmet of salvation, but the aspect of helmet of salvation is very specific, pertaining to a specific meditation, a specific idea. Of course, it's talking about salvation. So this is not talking about the girding of your mind. The girding is the tool, is the thing that Yah wants you to use for every aspect of your life, every aspect of your walk, every aspect of your being has to be filtered or held together by what is true, by what Yah commands, by what's in Yah's word, period. This is how you keep your mind focused on him. Let me see if I think this is more familiar. Philippians 4:8. This is more familiar to everybody. It says, and the peace of Elohim, which passes all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Yahushua Messiah. So you notice that Yah will keep you in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on him because he trusts in him. Then it says, peace, the peace of Yah, or the peace of Elohim, which passes all understanding, shall keep or guard your hearts and your minds. You see what this whole battle is about, your heart and your mind. through Yahushua Messiah. It says, finally, brethren, whatsoever things is true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there's any virtue in it, if there's any praise, look at what it says. Think. Think on these things. Think on these things. Those things which you have both learned and received and heard and seen in me, do, and the Elohim of peace shall be with you. Very important. Very important. Think on these things. Keep your mind focused on these things. This is the only way that we can say, honestly, that we need to let this mind be in you, which was also in Yahushua Messiah. The way that the Messiah meditated and kept his mind focused on Yah is the way that Yah is calling for us to do the same thing. He's calling for us to maintain that clarity, to maintain that sober-mindedness, to gird the loins of our mind, to hold every aspect of his armor together. But if we're not willing to focus on the magnitude of this, it's not an easy task. This is a simple, clear task. This is a simple and clear answer, but this is not an easy answer. It's going to take effort. It's going to take strength. It's going to take a lot. But Yah is willing to give you the strength to do these things. He's willing to guide you. He's not going to just tell you to do it. He's going to strengthen and enable you to do something that is hard. Now, it's not impossible, because with Yah, nothing is impossible, but that does not mean that it's not hard. It does not mean that it's not difficult or struggle or strain. It's not impossible, but it will be a strain, because you have to exercise godliness. And it starts with maintaining your mind. Okay? So we're going to stop right there, and we're going to have another encouragement. We're going to allow this series to go back to back, just to bring more clarity on the armor of Yah and how to put it on. And I hope that this was clear. And if you have any questions, feel free to give us an email. We'll be happy to respond and answer these questions in the following studies that we have coming out. So shalom, everyone.